Hello, this is Anne Yatco, voice of many of your favorite characters. Genshin Impact is the one that I think everybody's heard of, but I guess what are two of your other favorites?
A lot of people also know me from Jujutsu Kaisen. I am the English voice of Nobara Kugisaki, and it kind of depends on what other people's third thing that they would know me from. But I am the new voice of Sabine in Miraculous Ladybug. I took on the role earlier this year.
That's another one I've heard of. Okay, that's good. All right, so you're in like real things. You're not in like the weird things. Although the weird things are still nice too.
What are the weird things?
The weird things are like the thing I hired you for. We met Anne through Sludgelord Sundays. And actually, I think your character...
That turned out so well.
Thank you. Your character got her own Wikia page. There's some crazy person who has done a fandom for Sludgelord Sundays, and now...
For real?
Apparently your name was Cheryl. I didn't even remember giving the character a name, but apparently it's Cheryl.
I gotta find that. That's hilarious.
I can give you the link here. You can look at that later. Okay.
Yeah.
But so that's that. But quick question to settle a debate. Me and Mike are at odds here. Would you rather spend?
Mike, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is Mike of VA Nutshell. He might ask one. I'll give him one question every time he gets in here. He's my co-pilot.
Oh wow,
if I'm good the entire time.
I know. Okay, but no, please settle the debate. Would you rather spend 50 days in jail or 6 months in rehab? And you're not withdrawing.
Like rehab, but I don't have a reason to be in rehab?
Well, like, because you go to rehab and the judge is like, oh, you're getting your life together.
I think rehab.
That's what I'm saying. He won't. Mike's like, oh, I'm tough. I'm gonna go to jail. No, you're not. Mike, you wouldn't last. You wouldn't last 5 days in jail. That's all I'm saying.
Well, jail is markedly different from prison. It is different from prison. It's not as hardcore.
It's jail.
It's a shorter period of time. We're talking less than 2 months.
You don't get your iPhone in jail. Okay, all right. No.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. So, like, if you're going to rehab, here's the thing. If you're going to rehab, they are sending you there because they are specifically trying to like help you get your life together. If you are going to jail, it is a punishment. Yeah. Like rehab is also a punishment, but it is a punishment that is meant to like also serve a secondary purpose. Whereas to me, like jail just seems like, well, you're just punished.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't let you have an Xbox. They don't let you have an Xbox in jail, Mike.
They let you have an Xbox in rehab?
Yeah.
You know what they do let you do? They let you read books. They let you get in shape. Some of them let you take classes.
There's like little field trips. You get to go on field trips in rehab. You don't get to go on field. Okay, Mike.
I'm just saying it's
this is true. There are rehabilitative programs within jails and or prisons. That is also true.
Yeah. Wait, you're an actor, or are you like Burbank?
Yeah, I live in the Valley. I live in North Hollywood.
All right. Yeah, don't tell anybody. Oh well, it's too late now. But anyway, yeah, you're an actor. You've been to rehab like 3 times at least, right?
No.
Okay, just making sure. No, none of the voice. This is interesting. The voice actors are like the cleanest, squeakiest. Like they're like the nicest, safest, like good decision making people. And then you have
to break rules.
And then you have the regular actors, and these are the most messed up people I have ever encountered in my life. But maybe it's just me. I don't know. But yeah, I guess don't cross over because you might enter a dark world. So.
Oh God.
All right. A quick background, I guess. What is something? I hate this question, but I have to do it for the people who like regularly listen. I guess so.
Sure.
So obviously you're a voice actress. What else? Like I guess how'd you get into it? Or when did you make the move to Burbank? All that.
Sure. So, okay, my story is long and convoluted. So I'm from the Midwest. I'm from a small town in Illinois, but I went to college actually for biomedical engineering. I went to Marquette University and I got a degree in biomedical engineering, and I was pre-med and I was going to go take the MCAT and go to college. But the whole time I was in undergrad, I was also doing theater, and I took classes, and I was doing like multiple plays a year, and my acting mentor, God rest her soul, told me I should go audition for grad school. And I was like, that's crazy. But she convinced me. So I did. And I got into grad school, and I decided not to go to medical school. And I moved to California to go get my MFA in acting at the California Institute of the Arts.
Okay.
So
how upset is your family? How mad are they?
They're not mad anymore. They were
anymore. Oh, whoa. Wait.
No, my parents were always like, worried for me. There was a lot of worry, like constant worry for me, but I always just kind of like shrugged it off, and I was just like, I can do it. I know what I'm doing. I have a vision. I have a dream. And I went and I pursued it and I got my MFA. But then I'm also a very pragmatic person. And when I realized student loans were a real thing and were going to kick in, I decided to get a day job, kind of using my science background. And I ended up being a forensic scientist for like 7 or 8 years. So
figuring out crimes and stuff like that for police?
No, I worked for a private company that would do accident reconstruction for mostly like car accidents or like premises liability cases. So I was reading a lot of depositions, reading a lot of traffic collision reports, medical records, taking measurements, trying to do some fancy math and physics to try to answer the questions such as what really happened in this accident, and is this person as hurt as they say they are, and why, and is it really the fault of the person who's being sued? And we got hired by both plaintiffs and defendants. So
okay, I mean, what did you see anything crazy? Did you see any of these like YouTube video car crashes? Did you see anything like that?
Any live leak content?
Yeah, live leak content.
There were some. I probably can't talk about anything in like real detail, obviously,
Sorry.
but there were some really like really gruesome stuff that I saw. Like I did have cases that involved people who died, and it was really sad.
So let's move along here. So back to the acting thing. So
yes, even while I was doing this job for like 7.5 years, at the same time, I started taking voiceover classes because I'd always been interested in like cartoons. Like I loved watching cartoons growing up. I always wanted to be the voice of a Disney princess, and that was always in the back of my mind. And then I realized, oh, you could make that a real job. Oh, let me see what that's about. So I took classes, cut a reel. I started getting jobs here and there doing some voiceover work, very like, few and far between, but I was doing that. I was doing plays. I had my hands on a lot of pots. I did improv. I did sketch comedy, but I was also doing voiceover. And my first job was like an online MMORPG called, oh God, which one was it? I think it was Dungeon Fighter online, and then Vindictus, and they're from the same company. And I would get hired. You played it?
Vindictus, yeah.
Yeah. I was the voice of Teve, who was like the girl you're following at the very beginning.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so
following in what context? Hold on.
No, so like at the very beginning, there's like this big old cinematic where like it's kind of teaching you how to play the game, but you're also like, you're trying to help this girl. I forgot exactly what happened in the cinematic, but like she was trying to like stop some terrible thing from happening, and you were like defending her, something.
Okay.
But like, I would keep getting hired back to do more content for that every once in a while. And, I got to know other studios. And then a few times I got to work with studios multiple times. And that's when I started to book things in terms of like dubbing. I kind of fell into dubbing, mostly live action stuff and a few anime here and there. And I just kept growing my resume slowly over many years until.
And the anime sort of that I'm assuming that's more followers. That's what everybody says anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, like for such a long time, like I was only doing like additional voices or like supporting roles.
Guy 3, girl 12.
Yeah. And some named characters too, but like it was, and they weren't very big anime. Like they were on Netflix before Netflix anime was kind of prestigious.
Yeah.
So like I did shows like Kuro Mukuro, ID Zero, Lost Song. They're like smaller shows.
Pokemon.
I have no idea what kind of followings those ever had.
Let me ask this. So I guess Genshin Impact is sort of this big thing, and so I think when I booked you for my thing for Sudsword Sundays, the superior piece of medium, when I booked you for that, you had already recorded for Genshin Impact?
God, what month was that? Do you remember?
It was March or April of 2021.
I had not even booked it yet.
Okay, that's
when I worked with you. By the time I'd worked with you, I was already probably almost done with the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen. There's only one season so far. I was almost done with Jujutsu Kaisen, which was kind of the thing that put me on the map in terms of like quote unquote followers, notoriety, because that was my first lead in an anime, like big lead in an anime.
Yeah.
And in an anime that's a big show. It turned out to be such a big show. Like it's really like changed my life a little.
Dude, I'm so lost because Mike's like, that's a big show, and I like half of these, like it's if it's not like Dragon Ball or Pokemon, like Pokemon, I haven't. I don't know. Like I was really into anime as a kid. Like I watched everything on Toonami. I watched Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, GT, like everything. But it's like it got to this point where like post 2010, that's where I just lost all connection with it, and it's like I couldn't keep up. But there's
so much.
The reason why I asked that is because I thought you had already done Genshin Impact and it was coming out, and I was having this crisis where I was like, God, what are they paying the people on Genshin Impact where they're still going to do videos like this? And it was because this is the weird thing about Genshin Impact. We had another guy named Griffin Puatu. Or do you know him?
Yeah, I don't we've never talked in real life, but he's a really great actor. Yeah.
Yeah, he never does anything wrong. That's a very valuable trait to have in the entertainment business for sure. And
Boy Scout.
He's very like red on everything. Like he trials a lot. But it feels like every voice actor in the world who is in LA has voiced in Genshin Impact, because I just jokingly asked him if he was in Genshin Impact. He's like, yeah, I did a couple side characters. And I'm like, I didn't know. I had known him for years. Like, I'm not looking up somebody's IMDb that I've known for so long, you know?
Sure.
So it's like, I think Mike looked at your IMDb. Mike, do you have any questions
I'm
for?
Working on it right now. Yeah, I do have a few.
Sure.
Psychotic.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys who should be behind a padded cell. Yes, I agree. Whatever.
I'm
here. Sorry, you're stuck.
No, you're
with
like
me.
you're the end of the social network where you click add friend and you keep refreshing to see if she accepted it. That's you. All right, go ahead.
Oh.
I'm just gonna go ahead and pretend like I didn't hear that. First off, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine because he really likes your performance in Neo: The World Ends with You. That's one of his favorite games.
Oh.
You did the shopkeepers in that one, correct?
I did. Yeah, it was 4 shopkeepers. 4?
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And I just thought, if you were talking earlier about what maybe the third option would be, and that seemed like a pretty apt one to round out your resume. Yeah, but what I was interested in is you mentioned doing a lot of work localizing live action shows before moving into anime. And I was wondering if you could maybe talk a little bit about the differences in directing style and I guess production style between those two kind of styles of localization, if there's anything that really stands out to you.
Yeah. So, obviously one is with real actors and the other one is with, cartoons, animated characters. But the thing is, when you're dubbing for live action, like the scale of your acting typically has to come so much smaller because you're trying to be real like they are on camera, right? So everything is like a little dirtier, less of your consonants are pronounced. Everything is more thrown away in that sense. And then more importantly, like matching lip flaps, quote unquote, is like a nigh impossible task. At that rate, you're really just trying to like see like, okay, is there any like really big mouth movements that they make that you're going to try to hit that, and then just hope for the beginning and end to just fit, and then like we'll work within those parameters. It is really, really hard. And it's really hard to like I find it so challenging because you're trying to match an acting style that feels grounded, but is also translated through a cultural filter. So like, have you guys seen Squid Game? I wasn't in Squid Game, but
I have seen Squid Game.
Did you ever watch?
I've heard of it a million goddamn times. I've never seen it. I apologize.
Fair. No, I know it's okay. Yeah. Have you, Mike? Did you see the dub at all, or did you only watch the sub?
We watched it in the original with the subtitles.
Fair enough, but okay. So no, it's fine. I watched it half and half just so I could like see the difference. But like, you know how in Squid Game, like a lot of their performances are like super big and outsized, right?
Yeah.
Especially, what's the name of the character, the woman with like the curly hair?
Yeah, the one who's like playing both sides. She's very exaggerated.
She feels like she's very exaggerated, but I mean, like that's like a character, and that I would assume fits within the cultural context of like Korean drama, right?
Yeah.
So now imagine the Herculean task of adapting that and having to act that in English for an English-speaking audience that doesn't have that kind of cultural connotation for that type of like almost telenovela style character. and then see if people think that that's quote unquote natural or sounds real or like is quote unquote acceptable to an English ear. Like that's fucking impossible.
I was going to say that sounds like a Herculean effort, like you said.
And I thought the actress did a really great job. Like, you're working with this constraint. And I feel like people don't give voice actors a lot of credit for the job of having to basically retell the thing and do it as well as they can, just like the thing they just saw.
I might
ears.
push back on that because, like, you get, like, I don't know, like, I see these actors. So this is like sort of an MK Ultra trigger for me, I guess. Like
okay.
There is this, and I've talked about this a few times. It feels like I don't want to say victim complex, but it's like there's this thing with voice actors where it's like, we're under-celebrated, we're this, we're that. But it's like every time somebody books a dub, they get like 1 million followers. Or not 1 million, but you know what I mean? Like, and it's like somebody else could do something that's far more labor. I'm not saying that like voice actors are bad or anything, but it's like, I feel like we're going off of sort of older, or Anne, I mean, are you, what's it called? Are you a millennial or a Gen Zer?
I'm a millennial. I'm like I'm at the end of millennial that's almost Gen X.
Okay, so basically, like, it's like that's a very old school thing where it's like, absolutely, if it was 2006, I would 100% agree with that. But it's like in 2020, like they say you have to dub anime to get a following and to get recognized now.
I mean, I guess maybe, and as someone who has done that, I suppose that holds true. But I would argue is that for all the voices, and I love that people are embracing like dubs. I don't care how you watch a medium. Like if you watch it sub, if you watch a dub, it's cool. But like, just like don't shit on the other side of it. But here's the deal: is that like for all the people who are cool with it and are cool either way, there is still a huge swath of people who are quote unquote old school and still ascribe to that school of thinking that dub is trash no matter what. Like, and that's bullshit.
And this is so interesting because so many of the people born in the 90s who are doing dubs now, they grew up being that exact same kid. They grew up being that exact same kid. No, it's not might have. They all are. I know it. I know it because it's like just the tendencies of like, okay, like, dude, like just like white kids in America who like anime that much, they are like, so like, oh my God, dude, I would never watch that version of One Piece. I'm going to watch the superior subtitled version that has the 1 second of blood. That makes it for adults like me. I'm an adult. I'm 15. Like it's like this. That's what I see. I don't know. Obviously not everybody. But sure. I would say
we're all making generalizations, and I get that.
I would say like 85%. That's what I would do. If anybody wants to call in and debate me, anybody who dubs anime for a living wants to debate me on that, they can go ahead.
It's so funny. I've literally seen one episode of One Piece.
Yeah, I've seen. It was on Foxbox. Or wait, no, was One Piece on Foxbox? What was One Piece on?
I got no idea. I've seen zero One Piece.
Mike,
I've not seen a single piece.
What are you here for if you can't look up what One Piece was on in 2003? Like, honestly, you just take up time here. Okay. Okay, so let's move along.
What are you paying him for?
Who, me?
Oh, we don't talk about that.
No, I don't pay him.
It's between friends. We don't want to talk about paying. No, we don't want to ruin this thing.
This venture doesn't make any money. I do this venture for the education.
This venture doesn't make any money for me. We'll just put it that way.
It doesn't make any money for me either. All right, anyway, so, okay. I do this out of the kindness of my heart. Okay. Let's move along here.
Sure.
So you are the Raiden Shogun, and this is like, this is a character. This is sort of a thing with all the Genshin Impact characters. Like I saw the character. I saw it next to your biography stuff and your profile picture. This just looks like a character that has a lot of porn made of it, and I have to ask. I really have to ask, do you have to, because I see a lot of people get the fan art commission and they have to do the signings. Have you had to do that yet for this?
Oh yeah. I have had to do that.
So do you hire, like, do you find like these Pixiv art? Okay, I've been trying to find these English speaking Pixiv artists for the longest time who can do that like high painted like anime style. How do you find these people? Where are they?
All of the artists that I've worked with, I found on either Instagram or Twitter. There was one artist that I worked with who was Korean, and we had to speak using like a Google Translate through what was the name of the app that we were using? Kakao Talk. But like that was the hardest thing was trying to communicate with them. But they were wonderful. They worked so fast. They like made me a really, really cute piece of fan art for one of my characters that I dubbed that I use for signings. But most of the all the other artists that I've worked with so far speak primarily English, which makes it easier for me. But they are all
style, like, you know what style I'm talking about though, like that high painted, like anime, like certain anatomy. You know what I mean?
Are we like skirting hentai here? Is what you're talking about?
No. The Pixiv art style, like that. It's like there's we do something called the Pixiv art challenge, and basically what I see is that. The high quality, anatomy, like all the shading, all the highlighting, all the everything.
Yeah.
That's what we call the Pixiv style. And what I've seen is that Western artists, like 99.9% of Western artists cannot do that. So it's interesting that you had the same experience where you're trying to get that style done and you had to speak with somebody through a translation app. It's just, I don't know what it is with Western artists. It's weird.
I would disagree. I've worked with a few artists that have like really like high level of like talent and the ability to do that kind of like super almost realistic, like high shading, high contrast style of art.
There's good Western artists. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like that style for some reason. That specific
style that you're looking for.
That is dominated by Eastern artists, and Western artists can't do it. Because I tried making a game. I put out a game called Class of '09. And it was a visual novel, but I was trying to get that Pixiv style that you commissioned and all that. Like, dude, it was impossible. Like I had to work with a girl in also in the Midwest. And it was like for 3 months, it was like this drug through the mud thing where it's like, how do we make this look like this? It was like trying to like discover Jesus or something. Like, it was ridiculous. Reinvent the wheel. That's a better phrase. I'm really into Jesus lately. Anyway, but no. So what is it like? No, but you mentioned hentai earlier. Like, what is it like voicing the popular pretty anime girl? Like, do you get sexually harassed like daily on Twitter? Like, what happens?
Thankfully, I don't get sexually harassed daily on Twitter. When I first announced that I was voicing the Red and Shogun, I think there were a couple of people who did literally respond to my post with like essentially like Red and Shogun hentai, and I was like, please don't. I was like, block, please don't. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. Like, I'm a grown ass woman and I can see whatever you put out there. Like, it's not going to offend my necessarily sensibilities, but I don't want other people to see it on my page. Like, this game is for all ages. Please don't. Just like, don't.
To me, unsolicited pornography is sexual harassment.
Exactly. That's the other thing. Is like, I didn't ask for it. Like, if I want to see porn, I will go look for it. I don't generally do, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God, now I've said that on a thing. Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Exactly. This is the best interview show for any voice actor. Okay. Anyway, let's keep going here. No, because I'm sick of this, and we're going to talk about your Anime Impulse stuff, and we'll talk about all that.
For sure.
But I always watch these panels where people who do anime get interviewed, and it's like, dude, these are the worst questions. How did you get into voice acting? How do I get into voice acting? Do you think they care? Like, I don't know. That's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm a terrible person.
I get what you're saying. Those are the same. I mean, those are the same like 5 questions that everybody wants to ask. And I understand, like, you have your shot and you want to hear it. But, I think people forget, like, oh, maybe this has been asked a bunch of times and maybe it's a really easily searchable thing. With all due respect. I mean, I will still answer the question every time, but I would invite people who want to ask questions of actors to think of a funner question.
Maybe not what we've asked, but anyway. So
you've been asking some fun questions.
All right, so let's ask. So this is another curiosity thing is that and I alluded to this earlier with the dubbing making you a social media star nowadays in the last 5 years, let's say. What I've seen, I mean, 40,000 followers, like that's like most people never get to that.
Yeah, it's not a thing to sneeze at, and I, for the most part, have Genshin Impact to thank for that.
Right. That's what Griffin said. That's what the last guy said. He was like, yeah, dude, that Genshin Impact really works. But
sure does.
When followers and all that and the attention comes in, a lot of superficial things come in with that. And for the longest time with voice acting, it was always, we don't care like who you are, what you do. Like, you're not here to be a star. You're not here to do anything. You're just here to show up, do the character, go home, and that's it. And now in this new era, because there is so much quote unquote like panel stardom, blah, 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 what we've seen is that they take looks into consideration far more than they did 10 to 15 years ago. What I've always said is that the thin white cosplay girls, they have shit so good. If they work hard, they can make big ass money in voice acting. But it's like, if you don't fall in that mold, like, have you ever experienced any difficulty, not trying to look like, oh, I'm the social media star, oh, I'm the Instagram star. Like, have you ever experienced problems or difficulties casting and getting sort of bigger characters?
I don't know. Uh-oh. I have no idea. To be perfectly honest, like, I have no idea if the way I look has any impact on my casting, to be perfectly frank. It probably has some impact on my my popularity in terms of like my following. I don't know that necessarily translates directly into casting, or specifically into the kind of casting that I'm looking for.
Because I asked that because I know a lot of I just know so many like girls in voice acting now, and like, either there'll be either someone who's Latino or Black or something like that, and they will vent to me. They're like, "Oh my God, I didn't get this because I'm not white." Like,
that's what you mean. I thought you meant like pretty. No. Okay, yeah. In terms of like race.
Wow, look at the self-esteem. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No. But sorry, like I thought you were just like talking like generally like your looks and not like in terms of like race. Like that's such an interesting.
Race goes into looks. I mean,
yes, it does. It does. Sorry, I was thinking. Yeah. Look at me, not even wanting to talk about race. It's funny because like I hear that because I think there's a big conversation happening right now about two things, about people being cast, or characters being cast more concurrent with what their ethnicity is, like in the in the show or movie or game or whatever they are. And then there's also a conversation being had, especially this week, just about whether or not it's okay for someone to voice a character that may or may not be of the same race.
Wait, what happened this week?
Okay, so here we'll just talk about this. So there's a new show that came out, a new dub that came out for an anime called Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It's like cute little like high school show about like a girl who teases a boy. Like that's the basics, right? Yeah. And like this girl, she's just like, she's a little impish. She's like, maybe she looks like she's like tan, like she's like darker skinned. And the I forgot who dubbed it, but it came out on Crunchyroll, and the cast included a Black actress playing the role of the girl. The main girl. And she posted, and people were like, "Oh, congratulations!" And then all the racists came out of the woodwork.
Well, what is the show again? Sorry.
Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro.
Don't toy with. It came up right there. Okay. There you go. I'm trying to just see a picture of show. I'm trying to see a picture of the. Let's see here.
Of the character?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what the character looks like so I have a reference. Okay,
sure, she's got like dark hair.
Oh, so it's literally every anime girl, but like one Photoshop shade darker. Okay.
Sure.
So go ahead.
And then like, I didn't read all of the quote unquote discourse from the racists, so I don't know exactly what was said. I just know that there were racist things said. So, I mean, go wild with your imagination. But, it's just like, okay, are we still having this this conversation? Like, why are we still clutching our pearls at a woman of color playing an anime character, like, or people saying that character's not Black? No one said necessarily that the character was Black or not. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter that a Black actress is playing her.
What was it? Was it Spanish people who were mad? Because I
have no idea.
She could pass for Spanish, so maybe I don't know if the Hispanic community was mad.
Exactly which people were mad. It's the people who have pictures that look just like that as their profile pictures.
What pictures that look like what?
Little anime girls.
Like, how much discourse was this? Like a trending topic on Twitter, or was it just like a?
Yeah, this was a trending topic on Twitter.
Okay, cool. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Mike, why are anime fans racist? Answer me that one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's a really tough nut to crack. I think it's the antisocial tendencies, something like a
social tendency. Yeah, you're not going outside.
It was kind of an outcast thing, and then very quickly over this last few decades, I'd say, it became a lot more of a mainstream appeal. Like I went to the mall today and I saw a bunch of posters for, like My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, all those big shows, Hunter x Hunter.
Demon Slayer.
Those are like hype beast things now. Yeah. And so I think a lot of people who had tried to be as gentle as possible, antisocial tendencies, they flocked towards that when it wasn't a very big thing. And then it became a big thing. And then they maybe started to feel like they were being displaced, and they thought they have to gatekeep. And their defense mechanism is to be as hostile and antisocial as possible to try and keep their. And then there's kind of they want to have their cake and eat it too, because I imagine they like high production shows being greenlit and like faster productions and things like that. But they seem to not like the fact that they have to now share their little cultural interests or their hobbies, or what I imagine many of them consider an aspect of their personality, with people who they don't necessarily agree with politically or don't look like.
Yeah, well, it's weird.
Yeah, Mike, that's the least racist thing I've ever heard a libertarian say. Congratulations, Mike. Anyway, let's keep going here. So now this was the main thing I was trying to interview about, but I guess we got sidetracked into a million different things. But
that's fine.
So we encountered you because I needed somebody to do improv, and I had there were 3 people I had already known, and all 3 of them flaked on me. And so then I went to Twitter. I was like, okay, who can do this? And so you were the person who showed up and did it, and now it's in history forever on VHS. And so basically, what is harder? Because they feel like they're on 2 totally opposite ends of the spectrum: anime dubbing or improv. Which one do you think is harder? How would you contrast those?
They are difficult for different reasons.
I have my answer, but go ahead.
You have your answer?
I already have my answer, but go ahead.
Fair enough. No, I think dubbing is technically harder than improv. Am I better at improv than I am at dubbing? Probably not. But yeah.
Okay, so the difficulty that I found, that I ran into trying to find somebody to do improv, that tells me that improv is infinitely harder, because if I say I have an anime dub and a million people blow my box up with oh yeah, hey, I'll do it. Oh, hell, allow me to contribute to your project.
But also that's the the culture around Twitter. There's a huge culture on Twitter among people who do voice acting and dubbing, where they look for casting on Twitter, and a lot of casting happens over Twitter for smaller projects. For improv and stuff, that doesn't necessarily usually happen on Twitter. Online. From what I see, it's usually who do you know? Oh, so-and-so needs a thing. Oh, let me call up 3 friends I know. Oh, I was on a team with this girl back in 2006, that kind of stuff.
To me, if somebody tells me I have to dub, I don't know, the improv requires more creativity at the end of the day. I guess that's why I think it's harder, because that's where you see a lot of. Because that's the thing with screen actors. A lot of screen actors are expected to have that kind of improv ability, where I'll work with tons of dub actors or people who do voiceover, and you might tell them to improv. They're like, uh-oh. And it's
That's so funny, because nowadays, well, I would say in the last several years that actually has been more and more expected of voiceover actors to be able to improvise.
In dubbing?
Not for dubbing. In dubbing, you generally don't improvise because you don't have the time to.
Right,
but if you're a voice actor, you're not just getting jobs doing dubbing, you're getting jobs doing all kinds of things. Especially with commercials, they invite you to be able to, they expect you to be able to improvise whether or not they'll actually use it.
Right. No, that's true.
And if you're doing prelay, if depending on the project, they might really like you to be able to improvise and add stuff to it. Even for Genshin Impact, there was room to not necessarily improvise per se. I mean, and I think some actors' lines have been improvised, but for my character, improvisation wasn't necessary. But they expect you to be able to add things like pre-life and breaths and the kinds of stuff that make it feel supernatural and organic, and that is a form of improv. To be able to add those this bullshit I'm doing right now,
yeah. right. The filibuster, or is that filibustering, or what is that?
Filibustering is
stammering? No, prattling. What the fuck is it? There's
Muttering.
A phrase for it. Stuttering. Maybe it's stuttering.
Walla.
No, that's not Walla. See, Mike, now I know you don't work in this. Okay, so anyway. Anyway, my answer is improv, obviously. But
Fair.
Anyway,
no, I get that. Yeah.
So let's put another layer of difficulty onto that. And this is where I see like 99% even people who are making a living doing it. I'm noticing that it, and I'm someone who has only done comedy projects my whole, like anytime I have called an actor, it was for a comedy project. It has never been for anything that serious. And so comedy is like, 5 times harder than the improv. And then you put that on top, you have to do comedy improv. That's really, really hard. I mean, there's some revisions here and there, but like a lot of times what I see is that things aren't so much difficult. It's just that like people tell themselves they can't do something. So then, like people tell themselves they can't do something. So then they just never do it, never try, never attempt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I got it in my head somehow that I wasn't funny. And so I didn't take an improv class until 2015.
Right.
Like I graduated from grad school in 2009. It took me 6 years to like get the balls to take an improv class and then realize, oh no, fuck, I think I am funny.
Yeah, no. The men who hate Amy Schumer listening right now might be mad about that. Yeah, that's what I see. Because there's definitely the God. See, I have this problem where I'll be directing an actor and I'm doing comedy, and they know it's comedy. Sometimes I shouldn't tell them it's comedy. I think maybe that's my problem. But basically, this is what I run into where I've had moments where I'll have genuine direction, but I feel like I'm just bullying them. Where like I had a girl do a read, and I was like, less Amy Schumer, haha. But I realized what I said. I was like, oh God, that's so mean. But it's like at the same time, like it literally sounded like she was emulating Amy Schumer. And so like that's, and there's that connotation with her now, after, I mean, has she gotten work in a while? I don't know. Well, obviously she got some work, but I guess like big public work, or she stole jokes, or
I think she had a kid, so she had a kid.
That's a pretty solid reason to take off show business. But no, so so it's interesting where comedy is this very sort of imperfect science, and I'll be honest, like it's really hard to find voice actors who are funny to someone other than other voice actors. It's like that's what I run into. I don't know. And a part of it is, to round it all together, what I said earlier, voice actors, it feels like the average voice actor lives this extremely clean, sterile, safe, good choice making life. And that does not breed good comedy. That, like I ask you about, 50 days in jail or 6 months in rehab. This is because I have a friend. He decided to do cocaine 5 days before a drug test. That is a bad decision. No voice actor would make that decision. No voice actor would even try cocaine. But like maybe 1 out of 1,000 voice actors would try cocaine. And so,
I've never tried it.
Exactly. I could call up, your best voice actor friend, 10 other of your best voice actor friends. None of them. Nobody. And so it's or do you have friends in voice acting, or are you sort of like a lone wolf?
No, I have luckily been able to make some friends.
Wow.
Even throughout the pandemic. Oh my God, I have friends. Yeah. Most of my friends are outside of voiceover. But yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Most of my friends are outside of my trade too. And so it's interesting where, it's lonely. It's lonely at the top, Mike,
No, I believe you.
Okay. Jesus Christ. But yeah, no. And so I'm, I'm casting it. Like I mentioned earlier, like I'm sort of promoting this where investors are getting mad at me. But basically, so I did Class of '09, and it's a game about all these kids who just don't give a shit. They, they swear, they're mean to their parents. They'll try Percocet. They'll do all this stuff. And it's like, how do I like, not everybody's Daniel Day-Lewis. There's like maybe out of every 1,000 actors, there's 2 Daniel Day-Lewises where they can totally just flip the script, become somebody totally different. But it's like, it's really hard to cast for a game where all the kids are like, oh, I don't give a fuck, blah, blah, blah. When it's like all the voice actors seem to really, really, really care. And it's like, and if you don't make it as a voice actor. It's like this conundrum that you find yourself in. So
that's funny.
I imagine it doesn't help that your hiring pool are people who were in theater classes in high school and not the ones who are, under the bleachers, like your characters.
Well, yeah, just again, like psychos, like again, it's like you have lines like oh, you got free Percocet, oh, dude, or just something like that, like, or that's
I
not
only
even the
date
line.
guys who can walk.
Well, yeah, I only date men who can walk, just lines like that. That's what a lot of people I hired were in dubbing, and I told them, you're never going to get lines this good again, so you better enjoy it while you have it. I didn't actually say that, but that's what I was thinking. Yeah, what's the best line you've ever got? There we go. What's the best line you have ever had to do in your voiceover career? I feel like people ask that one less than the favorite character one.
I don't know what my favorite line that I've ever gotten to do is. Shit, that's a great question. Like, I've never thought about that. I think I'll say, like, one of my favorite lines that I've ever gotten to do was this monologue I did in Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like my character Nobara is like in this like big old fight with another sorcerer, a girl, and they're kind of like arguing about like women's place in society, and Nobara basically gives this whole speech about like, I don't care, I don't give a fuck what people think about it. I am all the things, and I'm fucking awesome.
Wait, she worded it exactly like that?
No, she did not word it exactly like that.
See, that would be cool. That would be a cool anime thing.
The line is, I don't give a damn about your men or this or women that. Shit, I don't give a damn about your men or this or women that.
This is girl bossing right now.
Yeah, shit, what is the line? I don't give a damn about your men or this or women have to be that. You can keep all that shit to yourself. I got to say shit in an anime. That's why I love this line. You can keep all that shit to yourself.
Wait,
love myself.
Wait, what's the name of the character? Let me just so I can get like a visual idea of who's saying it.
Her name is Nobara Kugisaki.
How am I supposed to spell this? Okay,
Nobara.
Okay.
Kuga.
Oh, I see it. Autofilled.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Got it.
Oh yeah, that seems like an anime character that say shit. Okay, I thought it was like one of those I thought it was the last anime character I googled from Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Yeah, because like you can't imagine those characters saying swears because they're like, I don't know, they look like electrical sockets. Like they can't really, I don't know. That's just me.
Oh, you haven't seen Pop Team.
Wait, what?
Pop Team Epic?
You haven't seen Pop Team Epic, yeah. Very excited for the new season of that one.
Wait,
yeah.
Mike, why do you watch all these shows? Aren't you an adult? What's going on, dude? No, I'm just
kidding. All right, whatever.
You met a girl? Yeah.
I watch more anime now in my late 30s than I ever did in my teens.
Well, you work in it. That makes sense, though. Well,
yeah, it's true. It's not actually.
No, that brings me to another really good question. Yeah. Here's another thing I say is that I would consider you a second-generation voiceover talent. I consider everybody born in the 80s and after a second-generation voiceover talent. And the reason why you were a second-generation voiceover talent is because you are the first voice actors who grew up on voice acting with the goal of voice acting. Whereas before, like all that stuff in the 80s and 90s, these were just regular actors, agents like, hey, I got this for you. Okay, I'll show up, I'll try it. That's how Pokemon was cast. That's how all those shows were cast. And so I call it second generation, but it has created a very interesting sort of world where the social media starlet stuff, all this stuff. And so now we have people who are more fans, or the I'm a fan is now mixing in with the I work for this now. And that didn't exist. That didn't exist before. Like, Kyle Hebert was like the only dude. Like he said that he liked Dragon Ball. We interviewed him like a couple years ago. He said that he was the only dude who actually liked Dragon Ball. He showed up to the audition in a Dragon Ball shirt, which was his biggest regret of his career. That's what he said. And but other than him, like nobody voicing an anime cared about any of these shows. They were just like, oh, it's a thing, it's a paycheck. And so I think it's interesting from the standpoint of now on Twitter we say what we're fans of, we say what we're really into, and I guess what is the danger? I feel like there are dangers of also being a fan, because some projects you'll be like, oh, I'm so glad to be in this, and then your other clients feel like, oh, well, I guess our projects are trash, and then they don't recast you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a conflict of interest risk that sort of occurs with that. Do you how do you feel?
I mean, maybe potentially. I don't know. I think as long as you're not actively going on Twitter and saying, well, I'm on show XYZ and this is a pile of dog poop, I think most clients are going to be okay if you're not as perhaps as rabbit of a fan as you might be on a different show. Because at the end of the day, even though I love Jujutsu Kaisen, and I legitimately would have been a fan of it even if I wasn't in it, like, it is still just a job. Like, I also, like, no one actor is synonymous with any character. Like, I could be recast if I really fucked up.
What about like
that's
Sean,
always
what about
on the
like
table.
Sean Shamal and Goku though? Like I like, is that guy ever gonna get recast?
I don't know. I can't imagine that he would.
Dude, after the Funimation leak where he was saying the homophobic stuff is Goku, the fact that that didn't make him lose his job, like, he's untouchable. Nobody can take that role from him. Nobody. Name one person, Mike. Name one person who could take that role from him.
What about the brilliant minds at Team 4-Star, the brilliant dubbing studio, YouTube, right. The brilliant visionaries? They're so Jesus brilliant.
Christ. Okay. Anyway. Why are you laughing?
We happen to be the #1 Team 4-Star fan podcast.
Really?
Yes, we
I think that's your podcast, Mike. I think that's what you do over there, where you don't get
this
paid.
Is my podcast.
Yeah, you don't even get paid for your own podcast, Mike. All right, so, all right. What's it like living in Burbank? Because I saw a Family Guy joke. I've been in the midst of a 17-day panic attack, and I've been watching Family Guy to try to fall asleep. And they had a joke about Burbank, how it's like the worst hellscape in all of Los Angeles. What is Burbank like?
Burbank it's like a suburb with like a suburb that's like just on the outskirts of the city. Like it's like basically part of Los Angeles, but also not. It's weird in that way. Is there a bunch of
empty pools? Are there a bunch of empty, dirty pools with like one lone used couch in them? Like, is that a thing?
I have not seen any, but also, like, I don't get to go see other people's backyards, so no clue. What if I just, like, would like take tours of people's backyards by just climbing over all the fences just to find the one pool with a lonely, sad couch in it?
I know guys who would do that.
Yeah, one of them's in jail.
All of them are in jail. So yeah, free all my friends in jail. I got to get that Kodak black hat. That'd be sick. The free all my friends in jail hat. Anne, how many friends do you have in jail?
I don't think I have any friends in jail.
Dude, this is killing me. All right, no, it's okay.
What?
That's actually a good thing. No,
if I do, it's because if I do have any friends that are in jail, I hope you're okay.
Wow.
You can't
send money in the commissary. No, I hope you're okay, dude. That's all right.
I hope you're okay, dude. I don't even know.
What's this is other place I hear about, because I talked to like 20 people in Burbank who were doing voiceover, because I was doing like the projects like the one that we did. I was doing a bunch of like just stupid projects, and then like all the people I was working with ended up like in Burbank doing stuff. Have you heard of this place called Simply Coffee?
I've heard of it. I've never actually been.
Yeah, no, I was told that that's the voice actor meeting base. That's what like 3 different people told me. They're like, oh,
apparently
it's where all the voice actors close all the deals. Yeah, what if it's bad? Can you go there and try it for us and then post a review on Twitter?
You blow up their spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, you're not doing that. Okay, so all right, let's go. So
she's gonna go check out the swimming pools, and then she's gonna go check out the coffee shop.
This is what I've noticed about voice actors is they'll laugh and go, ha ha, yeah, and they're incapable of saying no to something ridiculous. They can't just say no, fuck you. They can't do that.
No,
well, she's improv. It's all about you. Yes and.
Okay. Yeah. Oh well, now I told you. Okay, so we're rolling down here. So if you liked Anne Yatco and you're in the SoCal area, you can go ahead and see her at Anime Impulse on January. Are you there for the 15th and the 16th?
Yeah, I'll be there both the 15th and the 16th.
And so let the viewers know what you're doing at Anime Impulse.
Yeah. So on the 15th, I'll just be there signing autographs. I've got a session in the morning and a session in the afternoon, 11 to 1 and 4 to 6, I think. And then on Sunday, I've also got the same like time sessions for signings. And then I'm part of a Genshin Impact panel from 2 to 3, I think. You can check the schedule if I'm wrong.
Who are you doing it with? Or do you not know?
Gosh, there's a whole bunch of Genshin Impact actors that are going to be there, and I can't remember them off the top of my head.
I forgot because literally everyone in LA has voiced in Genshin Impact. All of LA is going to be at that table. I hope you know that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Social distancing is going to be impossible. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. No, that reminds me. Are we in like Corona time now? You're going to die. Why are you going there?
No, I'm gonna be okay.
No.
I've got my protocols in place. I don't touch anyone. I've got an air purifier at my table.
An air
nice.
purifier at the table. Does
I
those actually do
wear
anything?
an N95 mask.
I don't know. Do those do anything though? Like that's what I wonder.
The N95s are the only ones that do something.
I'm of the belief that the only stopper of coronavirus is staying at home, and if you don't stay home, you're going to get coronavirus. But maybe I'm just worried. Maybe I'm a little. Scared.
That is the 100% way to avoid coronavirus. That is true.
Exactly. So kids, listen to me. Don't listen to the government. The government doesn't know what they're talking about. Okay. The government isn't out to get you guys. It's out to get me. So watch out for that. I stole that joke. Okay. So what are the all right, let me ask this. How many panel signing, whatever things have you done in the past?
I think I've done 6 conventions total. My first convention was in August of last year. So this will be my 6th or 7th.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so you've done like 7 in like 4 months?
If this is my 7th, yeah.
That's weird. So it just happens like that. It happens really fast, huh?
For some people, it does, apparently.
Okay, yeah, from 0 to 60. So
basically,
what are the fan interactions like? Because I am addicted to watching like awkward panel videos where it's like the actor or the actress, they're just like, hey guys, here's a Q&A, and they get the weirdest fucking dude asking a question, and it's like really awkward for everybody. How many of those moments do you have?
Oh yeah, so my very first. Was it my first panel or was it my second panel? I think it was my second panel ever, was a Jujutsu Kaisen panel at Otakon in August of last year. And some guy literally walked in and like asked us if we believed curses were real. And then another guy came and asked the exact same question like the next day at a different panel. And I was like, what? Why is everyone asking me if curses are real? Like, this is creepy now.
Have they ever asked like for your phone number or anything?
No.
Okay.
Also, I would never give that out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Mike. I have all these female fans. They keep asking for my phone number. It's ridiculous, Mike. I can't get them off me.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. And what else? Oh, we have a caller. Do you want to talk to a caller?
Sure.
Okay. We'll see if this guy is asking about curses here.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm curious. Do you happen to
What?
Do I believe in curses?
Nothing. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I don't believe in curses.
Not really.
I believe in
but
Xanax
also...
and Valium. Hold on. Yeah, Anime Impulse. You can see Anne Yatco at Anime Impulse on January the 15th and the 16th. The whole weekend.
What city is that?
Of
yeah.
Anne.
It's in Pomona.
Pomona. Sir, turn off your stream. Sir, I hear the echo. I'm very upset.
Mine is up. It's up.
Okay.
It's up.
So, Joe, what are you doing on the show? What's going on?
Quickly. How's it going, guys? Joe Clark here from Arizona. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi. So big fan of Neo Tui. So had a couple of questions there for you. In terms of preparation for your, because you have a few different roles in the game, right?
Yeah.
Different shop workers and keeps and whatnot. One, I guess, which one was your favorite?
My favorite was actually, I forgot her name, but she's like the older woman. She's like this old hippie lady. She was my favorite one to do.
I know exactly which one you're the funky. You played the funky old lady. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. The shop's kind of hidden off the side. Anyway, and then question, a lot of the locations from the original game were based, of course, the sequel, are based off of real locations that are in Shibuya. So I was just kind of curious, for the roles, did you have to look up like the actual stores that your characters' places were based on, or did they give you any examples of the types of stores? Anything like that in terms of preparation, or?
No. So when I went in, it was still under like a code name. So I didn't even know that this was for the sequel to The World Ends With You.
Wow.
And they gave us like an image of the character and like the basic and they like this one girl runs the burger shop, this woman runs this shop, and then just the lines that go with it. There wasn't a lot of, to be honest, for those characters, not a lot of context. So it was kind of on me on the actor to kind of create that character and like what it sounds like, how they feel about the character, like what they're doing that moment. Like we were kind of just like creating a thing that feels lived in, even though you don't have a lot of information to go on.
Interesting. So what was what was the job listing like, if you don't mind me asking? Then how did you end up in the
Sure.
in
No,
the
I mean,
role?
like the audition came through my agent, and it had a code name, and I don't remember what the code name was. It was like Project, maybe like, I don't know, maybe it was called like Project 34 or something like that.
Okay.
And then yeah, actually no, wait, I didn't even. Sorry, this one I did not audition. Because these are like technically additional voices. They were just the director hired me to do these additional voices. So I was just given these to do. So I walked in super cold, had no idea what I was doing.
And then I guess that actually leads to my next question. So when you were pulled to these sessions, were you ever bouncing off of other people, or was it pretty much just hear your lines and you're in the booth?
So yeah, it's me in the booth, and then there's an engineer like on the other side of the glass, and then there's the director over Skype or whatever. And so like between me and the director, we were like figuring out like, what does this character sound like? Okay, let's go with that. And then with the engineer, we were listening to the original Japanese, and we had to fit each line into roughly the exact same length. So it's not like a true dub, but like you had to match the length. So we were just we would like, if we had to like fix a line a little bit so that it would fit within the time constraint, that might have happened. It probably did happen once or twice. And then just doing takes until we got one that fit the timing and the attitude that we were going for.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you. You definitely give great answers, and I'm going to give it back to the funnier host because she's probably dragging the show down a bit.
Joe, you got a crush on her? Joe, you got a crush on her? What's going on, man?
Oh my God.
Well, I did until I found out she won't answer if curses are real or not, and then I
Okay,
just
Yeah,
I'm totally joking. I'm sorry.
Joe, we got another caller. We'll see you later.
Get out of here, Joe.
Yeah, that guy was weird. I don't like him. Sorry, that was rude.
Bad vibes.
I should have.
Vibes. Way off.
Bro, yeah, no, he's got that curses are real vibe. I ain't. Okay,
I'm starting to think maybe curses are real.
We're gonna do one more caller.
Okay.
We're gonna do one more caller, and then I think we're gonna call it a wrap.
Okay.
Mike, when are you getting married again?
August 6th.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What do you mean, congratulations? It's the end of his life, dude. All right, okay.
It's not true. It's the beginning of my life.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Justin, what do you want on the show? What's going on?
Hi, what's up, guys? Also, hello, Anne Yatco. I'm also from Arizona, and I just wanted to ask. I know you voiced Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen. I just wanted to ask, do you think she would do 50 days in jail or 6 months in rehab?
Yeah, what would it be? I got to give a clap for that. I got to give it applause. There you go.
That's really good.
Answer the question.
That's the question. Nobara would do jail.
There you go.
She would.
Do you think she'd do jail and kick everyone's ass?
Exactly.
Or do you think she'd go rehab and be a good girl? Because she's good like all the other voice actors.
Oh, no. She'd go to jail and kick ass.
What about the Raiden Shogun? Do you think she'd go to rehab or 50 days in jail?
I think she'd she might have to end a few lives so she didn't have to do either.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And you think Nobara would do heroin?
Wow, what a question.
No, I don't think she would see the need for it when killing curses probably gives her the best high ever.
Wow, that's bars.
Okay.
That's bars. You see, she took high, and that's why she got hired for the Improv. That's why she was in Sludgeworth Sunday's War. You see that? See that, everybody? All right, Justin, is that it? Please don't say anything racist. Don't say anything racist.
Okay, I won't.
Oh, wait.
I will say one more thing.
I won't.
I'm also Filipino.
Oh, no.
Wait, what, Justin?
I'm just saying I'm also Filipino, so yeah, shout out. So y'all take care.
Yeah, kababayan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't speak Filipino.
Sorry, dude.
He's
not about that life.
Words I really know, but it's cool. Yay, fellow Filipino.
He's like the. All right, Justin. We'll see you later.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah.
Bye.
He's like the Jewish kids that don't know Hebrew. It's ridiculous. All right. What do we got here? Are you allowed to do the Raiden Shogun voice places, or what's it called? Or are you contractually forbidden from doing that?
I could just like do a quick line from the game. Like I can't
Can I
say
give you a
whatever
line?
you want me to say.
Oh, I can't give you a line?
No, I can just do like game lines.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right.
So like you can't make the Raiden Shogun say whatever you want, basically.
Oh,
Sorry.
I wanted a shout out for either Burger King or Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A might be politically incorrect, actually, so we can't do that one. Okay.
No, Burger King only.
Okay. All right. Well, Anne Yatco, thank you for coming on SoBroRadio. We are going to